Welcome to Introduction to the New Testament. I'm John Harrison, and so obviously since you are seeing this video, you have gotten into Blackboard and you have gotten to our site, and you're able to then see some of the content that I have left here for you. Briefly, what I'm going to do here in this section is just go over what's in this content and just kind of give you some brief little instructions. So what you'll see once you've gotten in here is you'll see the syllabus down here, and the syllabus is also saved on the main page up here, so you can get it there, you can get it here, and what I've also done is I have a little overview of the syllabus, so there's two sections of it, so you can kind of open up your document and then just listen to the overview and kind of follow what I have to say there about the different requirements and a little bit of the other details about policy. I've also listed here some other things you're going to find helpful. So there's instructions about making a substantive discussion board post. So that's one of the ways in which we interact with each other in the course is via discussion board. And so I give some instructions simply to let you know what I'm kind of looking for when I say make a substantive post. So usually for graduate students, this is not instructions that are oftentimes needed. Usually graduate students do make substantive posts, but nevertheless, just to be clear that I'm looking for more than just a simple affirmation or a 1 or 2 sentence response when either to the questions that I give or to statements that other people will give and that you are responding to. You also see here a rubric. One of the assignments that you'll have is writing a New Testament theology essay, and so that rubric is there so that you can kind of know what I'm looking for, and if you're wanting to get an A paper, some of the things that I would expect to be in an A paper. There's also a rubric for another assignment you have, which is called a genre and content of New Testament books paper. So again, when you're ready to write that, you might want to double check that to make sure that you have the things in that paper that would qualify for an A. There's also a video presentation of New Testament theology, and again, another rubric just to make sure that that video presentation is of quality, and a rubric for the final assignment, which is a reflection about New Testament theology, particularly in the culture in which we live in, or the culture in which you live in right now. And so how New Testament theology might interact with your culture, and what you have learned from watching how New Testament theology was formed in its original culture. There's also a place to make a personal introduction. So this is really for my benefit because for many of you, this is my first time to meet you. And so I do assume that since this is a cohort that you may have already introduced yourselves to one another. So you're not really needing to do that, but this is for me. But if this is for some reason your first course that you are taking, you're being added to this cohort, then please use this opportunity to introduce yourself to the other students. I also give some instructions about one of the ways in which you can do it, but there may be other ways that are more convenient or helpful for you. So anyway, once again, welcome to the course. This course opens up a lot of different questions, and I hope that as you kind of go through the materials and you go through the assigned readings, that you'll be willing to ask questions, especially as you try to think about how New Testament theology is interacting with the world in which you live in, and how you want to make sense of that theology for the people who you might minister to or you hope to minister to. Again, I'm glad that you're in the course, and always be willing to reach out to me if you have any kind of questions or concerns. Thanks.